Hi again, everybody. It's part 3 of what I know and what you need to know. And you need to make your own decisions, of course. Make your own decisions. Once you have the necessary information, basic information, and you can go ahead and research what I've said, put it together with what other people are saying and the facts. In every story that is made up of lies, there are elements of truth. And it's those elements of truth that makes one think, oh, well, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the government aren't doing this because they are employees of the people, because we can vote them out, because we can, because we're powerful. No, we're not anymore. If we ever were. So my beef about illegal immigration is also the fact of the hatred that is directed toward these people who are coming in on dinghies, who are being escorted from France to Mid-Channel and escorted by the Royal National Lifeboat Institution into British ports. So the anger needs to be directed at governments, because none of it would be happening if it wasn't for governmental policies. And I'm not just talking about the UK government, although that's the one that pisses me off most, or the French government, the US government, as it will be happening, the Denmark, Sweden, wherever. It's every government. So whilst the immigrants who are coming in will take a lot of the flak because they are here, the point of our anger, if you want to call it that, or frustration, needs to be aimed at governments who are doing this. But then we are allowing this, encouraging this. Well, we have to ask ourselves why it's happening. There's always reasons. You've no doubt seen, the pyramid, where you've got the elites at the top and the sort of middle classes in between, and the slave class at the bottom. So let me give you an alternative to that pyramid. At the top are still the elites. At the bottom are the slave class. In the middle are going to be people who are indigenous to that country, but people who, like me and others, put 2 and 2 together and make a very strong 4, because we can see through what you're doing, governments. This is the onset of what the World Economic Forum have been predicting for years. among those in the know, and the one world government among those in the know. Unfortunately, we have people who have studied and who have been privy to what's going on and have turned in disgust at how we are all being played. It's divide and conquer the normal people of every country, the ordinary people of every country, with a black, white in between. We are encouraged to go against each other. We are encouraged to blame each other. We are going to become disenfranchised, all of us. We're going to have the people at the bottom of the pyramid who work for a pittance, doing everything that needs to be done to keep the elites in comfort at the top. There's going to be people, working class people, lower middle class, however you like to call it. I know the class system also, but it's another story for another day. So you're going to have the slave labour at the bottom. These are the people, I think, who are coming into countries on Indies, a lot of whom don't speak the language, a lot of whom are not qualified to do certain jobs of work, but are qualified enough. A lot of whom are going to be so appreciative of being in a country that isn't war-torn, at least not yet, that they will work for a pittance and they will undercut the labour that's already here, as in people like me, as was my family. People like us in the middle, people who make waves, people who speak out, are going to be out of jobs, out of work. Who was it who said that by the end of the 2020s, we're all going to be in a situation where we don't own anything, and we're going to be happy with that situation? This is the way things are heading. I think that the generations now coming up are going to be probably the last generations, unless something is done about it, to enjoy freedom, to enjoy a working life, to enjoy striving for whatever they want in life. They're not going to be encouraged to do that. So, as I say, it's the New World Order coming into being. It's the World Economic Forum that is encouraging this mess that is global. It is both of those organisations that are exploiting both people indigenous to a country or immigrants that have come in legally, and exploiting those who are coming in illegally. The governments are to blame for the mess. The governments have no intention of making things better, because this is what they planned all along. Now, I don't need to say any more. I've given you the basic information of what I know to be true, what are my own feelings on it, that all of us, ordinary people, wherever we come from, whatever country, we're all being exploited. I'm going to put a link to an interview which I'm not saying I agree with the host of these interviews on everything he says, because I certainly don't. But his guest, who is a Scottish gentleman, I am going to leave it to him to explain, when he's not being interrupted, exactly what is going on and how do we go about fighting this New World Order, one world government. We've got a King of England, bear in mind, defender of the faith. That faith was, originally it was all Catholic in this country, till Henry VIII wanted to divorce, which was fortunate for Charles, wasn't it, really? And but he's no longer the defender of the faith. He's defender of the faith. So even faith, every faith, is becoming part of this global faith. Now, I believe we're all, unless you're evil and violent and a terrorist and all of that, which the majority aren't, we're all on different routes to the same place. Let it be. Stop interfering in other countries. Stop interfering in their economies, in their religion, in their culture. Stop it. Just let people be who they are. So this is my part 3, my last chat on the subject. Maybe at a much later date I'll come back and either grovel and eat my hat, or say, well, you know, I wasn't far wrong, was I? So I'm going to put a link to that interview and maybe a link to something else also in my description here, and you can then make up your own mind. Use some critical thinking, which I know everybody is capable of, and use some critical thinking, and don't blame the people who are coming into the country in search of a better life, despite their claims of being this and that professionally, despite their willingness to leave wives and children behind in a war-torn land. You know, we all would grasp, I think, at the chance of a better life if, well, we would, wouldn't we? If the promises were there. Unfortunately, the promises from government are not only via a forked tongue, the tongues are split into slivers, and it's only by searching very, very comprehensively with a fine-tooth comb that you're going to find the truth. My last serious video, let's get back to some not the serious ones. Harriet is okay. It's the next morning, if you didn't guess. She's fast asleep. And I said to you yesterday that she seems a little bit constipated, and I watched her this morning, and she got in and out of the little tray about 3 or 4 times, and she didn't strain too much, but she just couldn't. She's been for a wee a couple of times, so I'm not too concerned at the minute. But she's only been for a number 2 poo once since Tuesday, 3 days, and she's normally like clockwork every day. She's eating all right. and drinking well. So I'm not too concerned. She's sleeping, she's calm, she's happy, she's loving. She's managed to walk around, jump on a tree, get to the dressing table, and generally poke a nose into where it's not required, but as in crinkly, where they gone out the other side, crinkly packets of wipes and stuff for her. But so she's okay, and it's her vet checkup tomorrow. So I'll mention it to them then, and maybe they'll suggest something, or something I can add to her meals that will naturally relieve her symptoms. So I'll be back later. No more politics, no more seriousness. Just, let's get back to a little bit of frivolity. And I miss talking to you all, I really do. I've just found it a bit hard recently for various reasons. But I'm getting there, believe me, I am. Have a great day. Lots of love to everybody. Speak to you later.